Bangladeshi economist Muhammad Yunus and the Grameen Bank, which Yunus founded, were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for pioneering microfinance and their efforts to eradicate poverty. Bangladesh has emerged as the second largest economy in South Asia, surpassing the per capita income levels of both India and Pakistan. Since 2009, Bangladesh has launched a series of infrastructure mega-projects. On the 25th of June, 2022, the Padma Bridge opened and connected southwestern Bangladesh with the rest of the country, while the Dhaka Metro was opened in 2023. As part of the green transition, Bangladesh's industrial sector emerged as a leader in building green factories, with the country having the largest number of certified green factories in the world in 2023. In January 2024, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina secured her fourth straight term in Bangladesh's controversial general election, which was boycotted by the main opposition Bangladesh Nationalist Party. Geography. Main article, Geography of Bangladesh. Bangladesh is in South Asia on the Bay of Bengal. It is surrounded almost entirely by neighboring India, and shares a small border with Myanmar to its southeast, though it lies very close to Nepal, Bhutan, and China. The country is divided into three regions. Most of the country is dominated by the fertile Ganges Delta, the largest river delta in the world. The northwest and central parts of the country are formed by the Madupa and the Barind plateaus. The northeast and southeast are home to evergreen hill ranges. The Ganges Delta is formed by the confluence of the Ganges, local name Padma or Poda, Brahmaputra, Chamuna or Jamuna, and Mena rivers and their tributaries. The Ganges unites with the Jamuna, main channel of the Brahmaputra, and later join the Mena, finally flowing into the Bay of Bengal. Bangladesh is called the land of rivers, as it is home to over 57 transboundary rivers, the most of any nation-state. Water issues are hence politically complicated since the country is a lower riparian state to India. Bangladesh is predominantly rich fertile flat land. Most of it is less than 12 m, 39 feet, above sea level, and it is estimated that about 10% of its land would be flooded if the sea level were to rise by 1 m, 3.3 feet. 17% of the country is covered by forests and 12% is covered by hill systems. The country's Hara wetlands are of significance to global environmental science. The highest point in Bangladesh is the Sekar Hakhorong, located near the border with Myanmar, with an elevation of 1,064 m, 3,491 feet. Previously, either Kir Kradong or Tazing Dong were considered the highest. Administrative divisions. Main article, Administrative Geography of Bangladesh. Further information, Divisions of Bangladesh, Districts of Bangladesh, and Upazilas of Bangladesh. Bangladesh is divided into 8 administrative divisions, each named after their respective divisional headquarters. Barisal, officially Barishal, Chittagong, officially Chattogram, Dhaka, Khulna, Mymensingh, Rajshahi, Rangpur, and Sylhet. Divisions are subdivided into districts, Zilla. There are 64 districts in Bangladesh, each further subdivided into Upazila, subdistricts, or Thana. The area within each police station, except for those in metropolitan areas, is divided into several unions, with each union consisting of multiple villages. In the metropolitan areas, police stations are divided into wards, further divided into mahalas. There are no elected officials at the divisional or district levels, and the administration is composed only of government officials. Direct elections are held in each union, or ward, for a chairperson and several members. In 1997, a parliamentary act was passed to reserve 3 seats, out of 12, in every union for female candidates. Administrative divisions of Bangladesh. Division capital established area, kilometer. 2021 population. Projected density. 2021. Barisal Division Barisal the 1st of January 1993 13,225 9,713,734. Chittagong Division Chittagong the 1st of January 1829 33,909 34,747,1025. Dhaka Division Dhaka the 1st of January 1829 20,594 42,607,2069. Khulna Division Khulna the 1st of October 1960 22,284 18,217,817. Mimensing Division Mimensing the 14th of September 2015 10,584 13,457,1271. Rajshahi Division Rajshahi the 1st of January 1829 18,153 21,607,1190. Rangpa Division Rangpa the 25th of January 2010 16,185 18,868,1166. Sylhet Division Sylhet the 1st of August 1995 12,635 12,463,986. Climate. Main articles: Geography of Bangladesh, Climate, and Climate Change in Bangladesh. Straddling the Tropic of Cancer, Bangladesh's climate is tropical, with a mild winter from October to March and a hot, humid summer from March to June. The country has never recorded an air temperature below 0 degrees Celsius, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, with a record low of 1.1 degrees Celsius. 34.0 degrees Fahrenheit, in the northwest city of Dinajpur on the 3rd of February 1905. A warm and humid monsoon season lasts from June to October and supplies most of the country's rainfall. Natural calamities, such as floods, tropical cyclones, tornadoes, and tidal bores occur almost every year, combined with the effects of deforestation, soil degradation and erosion. The cyclones of 1970 and 1991 were particularly devastating, the latter killing approximately 140,000 people. In September 1998, Bangladesh saw the most severe flooding in modern history, after which 2/3 of the country went underwater, along with a death toll of 1,000. As a result of various international and national level initiatives in disaster risk reduction, the human toll and economic damage from floods and cyclones have come down over the years. The 2007 South Asian floods ravaged areas across the country, leaving 5 million people displaced, had a death toll around 500. Climate change. Main article: Climate change in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is recognized to be one of the countries most vulnerable to climate change. Over the course of a century, 508 cyclones have affected the Bay of Bengal region, 17% of which are believed to have made landfall in Bangladesh. Natural hazards that come from increased rainfall, rising sea levels, and tropical cyclones are expected to increase as the climate changes, each seriously affecting agriculture, water and food security, human health, and shelter. It is estimated that by 2050, a 3-foot rise in sea levels will inundate some 20% of the land and displace more than 30 million people. To address the sea level rise threat in Bangladesh, the Bangladesh Delta Plan 2100 has been launched. Biodiversity. Main articles: Wildlife of Bangladesh and Fauna of Bangladesh. Bangladesh is located in the Indo-Malayan realm, and lies within 4 terrestrial ecoregions: Lower Gangetic Plains moist deciduous forests, Mizoram-Manipur Kachin rain forests, Sundarbans freshwater swamp forests, and Sundarbans mangroves. Its ecology includes a long sea coastline, numerous rivers and tributaries, lakes, wetlands, evergreen forests, semi-evergreen forests, hill forests, moist deciduous forests, freshwater swamp forests and flat land with tall grass. The Bangladesh plain is famous for its fertile alluvial soil which supports extensive cultivation. The country is dominated by lush vegetation, with villages often buried in groves of mango, jackfruit, bamboo, betel nut, coconut, and date palm. The country has up to 6,000 species of plant life, including 5,000 flowering plants. Water bodies and wetland systems provide a habitat for many aquatic plants. Water lilies and lotuses grow vividly during the monsoon season. The country has 50 wildlife sanctuaries. Bangladesh is home to much of the Sundarbans, the world's largest mangrove forest, covering an area of 6,000 square kilometers, 2,300 square mi, in the southwest littoral region. It is divided into 3 protected sanctuaries: the south, east, and west zones. The forest is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The northeastern Sylhet region is home to Har wetlands, a unique ecosystem. It also includes tropical and subtropical coniferous forests, a freshwater swamp forest, and mixed deciduous forests. The southeastern Chittagong region covers evergreen and semi-evergreen hilly jungles. Central Bangladesh includes the plainland sal forest running along with the districts of Gazipur, Tangail, and Mymensingh. St. Martin's Island is the only coral reef in the country. Bangladesh has an abundance of wildlife in its forests, marshes, woodlands, and hills. The vast majority of animals dwell within a habitat of 150,000 square kilometers, 58,000 square mi. The Bengal tiger, clouded leopard, saltwater crocodile, black panther and fishing cat are among the chief predators in the Sundarbans. Northern and eastern Bangladesh is home to the Asian elephant, hoolock gibbon, Asian black bear and oriental pied hornbill. The sheetal deer are widely seen in southwestern woodlands. Other animals include the black giant squirrel, capped langur, Bengal fox, samba deer, jungle cat, king cobra, wild boar, mongooses, pangolins, pythons and water monitors. Bangladesh has one of the largest populations of Irrawaddy and Ganges dolphins. The country has numerous species of amphibians, 53, reptiles, 139, marine reptiles, 19, and marine mammals, 5. It also has 628 species of birds. Several animals became extinct in Bangladesh during the last century, including the one-horned and two-horned rhinoceros and common peafowl. The human population is concentrated in urban areas, limiting deforestation to a certain extent. Rapid urban growth has threatened natural habitats. The country has widespread environmental issues. Pollution of the Dhaleshwari River by the textile industry and shrimp cultivation in Sheikharia Sundarbans have both been described by academics as ecocides. Although many areas are protected under law, some Bangladeshi wildlife is threatened by this growth. The Bangladesh Environment Conservation Act was enacted in 1995. The government has designated several regions as ecologically critical areas, including wetlands, forests, and rivers. The Sundarbans Tiger Project and the Bangladesh Bear Project are among the key initiatives to strengthen conservation. It ratified the Rio Convention on Biological Diversity on the 3rd of May, 1994. As of 2014, the country was set to revise its National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan. Politics and Government. Main articles. Politics of Bangladesh and Government of Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a de jure representative democracy under its constitution, with a Westminster-style parliamentary republic that has universal suffrage. The head of government is the Prime Minister, who forms a government every 5 years. The President invites the leader of the largest party in Parliament to become Prime Minister. The Jatiya Sanshad, National Parliament, is the unicameral parliament. It has 350 members of Parliament, MPs, including 300 MPs elected on the first-past-the-post system and 50 MPs appointed to reserved seats for women's empowerment. Article 70 of the Constitution of Bangladesh forbids MPs from voting against their party. However, several laws proposed independently by MPs have been transformed into legislation, including the anti-torture law. The parliament is presided over by the Speaker of the Jatiya Sanshad, who is second in line to the President as per the Constitution. The government of Bangladesh is overseen by a cabinet headed by the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. The tenure of a parliamentary government is 5 years. The Bangladesh Civil Service assists the cabinet in running the government. Recruitment for the civil service is based on a public examination. In theory, the civil service should be a meritocracy. But a disputed quota system coupled with politicization and preference for seniority have allegedly affected the civil service's meritocracy. The President of Bangladesh is the ceremonial head of state whose powers include signing bills passed by Parliament into law. The President is the Supreme Commander of the Bangladesh Armed Forces and the Chancellor of all universities. The Supreme Court of Bangladesh is the highest court of the land, followed by the High Court and Appellate Divisions. The head of the judiciary is the Chief Justice of Bangladesh, who sits on the Supreme Court. The courts have wide latitude in judicial review, and judicial precedent is supported by Article 111 of the Constitution. The judiciary includes district and metropolitan courts divided into civil and criminal courts. Due to a shortage of judges, the judiciary has a large backlog. Military. Main article, Bangladesh Armed Forces. The Bangladesh Armed Forces have inherited the institutional framework of the British military and the British Indian Army. In 2022, the active personnel strength of the Bangladesh Army was around 250,000, excluding the Air Force and the Navy, 24,000. In addition to traditional defense roles, the military has supported civil authorities in disaster relief and provided internal security during periods of political unrest. For many years, Bangladesh has been the world's largest contributor to UN peacekeeping forces. The military budget of Bangladesh accounts for 1.3% of GDP, amounting to $4.3 billion in 2021. The Bangladesh Navy, one of the largest in the Bay of Bengal, includes a fleet of frigates, submarines, corvettes, and other vessels. The Bangladesh Air Force has a small fleet of multi-role combat aircraft. Most of Bangladesh's military equipment comes from China. In recent years, Bangladesh and India have increased joint military exercises, high-level visits of military leaders, counter-terrorism cooperation and intelligence sharing. Bangladesh is vital to ensuring stability and security in northeast India. Bangladesh's strategic importance in the eastern subcontinent hinges on its proximity to China, its frontier with Burma, the separation of mainland and northeast India, and its maritime territory in the Bay of Bengal. In 2002, Bangladesh and China signed a defense cooperation agreement. The United States has pursued negotiations with Bangladesh on a status of forces agreement, an acquisition and cross-servicing agreement, and a general security of military information agreement. In 2019, Bangladesh ratified the UN Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. Foreign Relations. Main article, Foreign Relations of Bangladesh. Bangladesh is considered a middle power in global politics. It plays an important role in the geopolitical affairs of the Indo-Pacific, due to its strategic location between South and Southeast Asia. Bangladesh joined the Commonwealth of Nations in 1972 and the United Nations in 1974. It relies on multilateral diplomacy on issues like climate change, nuclear non-proliferation, trade policy and non-traditional security issues. Bangladesh pioneered the creation of SAARC, which has been the preeminent forum for regional diplomacy among the countries of the Indian subcontinent. It joined the Organization of Islamic Cooperation in 1974, and is a founding member of the developing 8 countries. In recent years, Bangladesh has focused on promoting regional trade and transport links with support from the World Bank. Dhaka hosts the headquarters of BIMSTEC, an organization that brings together countries dependent on the Bay of Bengal. Relations with neighboring Myanmar have been severely strained since 2016-2017, after over 700,000 Rohingya refugees illegally entered Bangladesh. The Parliament, government, and civil society of Bangladesh have been at the forefront of international criticism against Myanmar for military operations against the Rohingya, and have demanded their right of return to Arakan. Bangladesh shares an important bilateral and economic relationship with its largest neighbor India, which is often strained by water politics of the Ganges and the Teesta, and the border killings of Bangladeshi civilians. Post-independent Bangladesh has continued to have a problematic relationship with Pakistan, mainly due to its denial of the 1971 Bangladesh genocide. It maintains a warm relationship with China, which is its largest trading partner, and the largest arms supplier. Japan is Bangladesh's largest economic aid provider, and the two maintain a strategic and economic partnership. Political relations with Middle Eastern countries are robust. Bangladesh receives 59% of its remittances from the Middle East, despite poor working conditions affecting over 4 million Bangladeshi workers. Bangladesh plays a major role in global climate diplomacy as a leader of the Climate Vulnerable Forum. Civil society. Since the colonial period, Bangladesh has had a prominent civil society. There are various special interest groups, including non-governmental organizations, human rights organizations, professional associations, chambers of commerce, employers associations, and trade unions. The National Human Rights Commission of Bangladesh was set up in 2007. Notable human rights organizations and initiatives include the Center for Law and Mediation, Odhikar, the Alliance for Bangladesh Worker Safety, the Bangladesh Environmental Lawyers Association, the Bangladesh Hindu-Buddhist Christian Unity Council, and the War Crimes Fact-Finding Committee. The world's largest international NGO BRAC is based in Bangladesh. There have been concerns regarding the shrinking space for independent civil society in recent years. Human rights. Main article, Human rights in Bangladesh. Torture is banned by the Constitution of Bangladesh, but is rampantly used by Bangladesh security forces. Bangladesh joined the Convention Against Torture in 1998, and it enacted its first anti-torture law, the Torture and Custodial Death Prevention Act, in 2013. The first conviction under this law was announced in 2020. Amnesty International prisoners of conscience from Bangladesh have included Saber Hossain Chowdhury and Shahid ul-Alam. The widely criticized Digital Security Act was repealed and replaced by the Cyber Security Act in 2023. The repeal was welcomed by the International Press Institute. On International Human Rights Day in December 2021, the United States Department of Treasury announced sanctions on commanders of the Rapid Action Battalion for extrajudicial killings, torture, and other human rights abuses. Freedom House has criticized the government for human rights abuses, the crackdown on the opposition, mass media, and civil society through politicized enforcement. Bangladesh is ranked partly free in Freedom House's Freedom in the World report, but its press freedom has deteriorated from free to not free in recent years due to increasing pressure from the government. According to the British Economist Intelligence Unit, the country has a hybrid regime, the third of 4 rankings in its democracy index. Bangladesh was ranked 96th among 163 countries in the 2022 Global Peace Index. According to National Human Rights Commission, 70% of alleged human rights violations are committed by law enforcement agencies. LGBT rights are frowned upon among social conservatives. Homosexuality is affected by Section 377 of the Penal Code of Bangladesh, which was originally enacted by the British colonial government. An underground LGBT scene is flourishing across the country. However, Bangladesh only recognizes the local transgender community known as the Hijra, which is the most widely accepted LGBT group among poorer sections of society. Organized crime by the Hijra is growing, with blackmailing and extortion rackets operating on grind and resulting in theft, murder and kidnapping. According to the 2016 Global Slavery Index, an estimated 1,531,300 people are enslaved in Bangladesh, or roughly 1% of the population. Corruption. Main article: Corruption in Bangladesh. Like many developing countries, institutional corruption is an issue of concern for Bangladesh. Bangladesh was ranked 146th among 180 countries on Transparency International's 2018 Corruption Perceptions Index. Land administration was the sector with the most bribery in 2015, followed by education, police and water supply. The Anti-Corruption Commission was formed in 2004, and it was active during the 2006-08 Bangladeshi political crisis, indicting many leading politicians, bureaucrats and businessmen for graft.
Yes, I need to charge my camcorder. But I think it have crashed. I have too many web pages open, so we cannot continue. The web page has crashed. You can see how it's loading. But it's 5 p.m. I have to charge, so we have to read it again. And I was very sleepy. We have to read it again another day. So we have to close it down because
Bangladesh. This article is...
But I need it for my Danish video. I'm going to make a video later, but I have to go to cook some food. So I will stop the video. And the sun is shining, so I have to open my door. Because it's hot. So we have to read it again.